We are Keka and Manu.
And we're traveling around the world.
Follow us. We've reached the end of the series, the 4th episode, and just so you know, this one's intense too. So,
We're at La Concha Beach. An amazing beach with sand that's pure white, and this lagoon forms here from the sea. So this lagoon stays here all night because the tide has gone out, and once again, Lunita can't go in. We just parked and saw the no dogs allowed sign. I'm going to stay pale all summer. So this afternoon we won't be able to swim at La Concha Beach. But here's what we'll do. We'll show you some aerial shots that are going to be spectacular. Lunita and the two of us are off to find another beach where we can take a swim. Yeah, bastards, they won't let me swim anywhere. The
Day doesn't swim. My girl
has abandoned me.
What you're seeing is La Concha Beach, one of the most special beaches in the north of Fuerteventura. Light sand, calm water, and an atmosphere that's addictive. And even though today we're only showing this beach, the whole Cotillo area is a great choice. Beaches, lagoons, and days that felt too short. As we drive closer to the northwestern tip, the landscape becomes increasingly rugged and silent. The horizon line barely changes until the silhouette of the Toston lighthouse appears, a fixed point in the middle of a land shaped by wind and lava. From the air, its location makes even more sense. The lighthouse rises before a coastline that alternates between black rocks, natural pools, and a shore that has witnessed generations of fishermen. On one side, the old salt works. On the other, the ocean pounding away, unhurried but relentless. It's a place that perfectly captures the character of this part of the island, pure, open, and unpretentious. Here, everything happens to the rhythm of the sea. From the lighthouse, we follow the coastal path towards Mejillon Beach, a stretch where sand, lava, and small hidden coves blend together. It's an easy path, but one that makes you look around so you don't miss a single detail. And at the end, a wide, wild beach, completely exposed to the Atlantic. Perfect for reminding you that Fuerteventura, when it wants to, shows itself just as it is. We are currently on Mejillon Beach. This beach in northern Fuerteventura is known for its fine grains, which are composed of small white pieces of fossilized calcareous algae called rhodoliths. But according to what they say, and we're about to find out, they look like popcorn. Popcorn. Let's see those famous popcorns. Once again, we had to come without Lunitas because on all these beaches, no matter how remote, dogs aren't allowed. The sign is everywhere. I think that's what people actually come here for. Well, excuse me, but the first thing I see is a dog. Well, from a distance, we thought it was a beach bar, and we were thinking of having a cold beer, but look, it's Juan the Fisherman's place. Yeah, well,
It really does look like popcorn.
yeah, they're small, but yes, super cute. Look, here are some bigger ones. Here? Yes, of course, that's why they ask people not to take them, because in the end, this is what will eventually form a white sand beach here.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful. Remember, even if they look like popcorn, don't take them. Rhodoliths are part of the ecosystem, and removing them changes the beach more than you might think.
Let's get back to the topic of AdBlue. We've been stuck for almost a week because we don't know what could happen if we don't fix it. If we fix it, we've been looking for 1,000 different options of what to do. We've done a lot of things to try to make that problem go away. Yesterday we did a test. We added an additive. We drove 300 kilometers like that to see if the problem would disappear. This morning, the problem disappeared on the way to Citroën, where we were going to ask them to please run some tests for us because we were just passing through Fuerteventura. Very kindly, Sarai, the woman working at reception, helped us out and gave us an appointment 2 hours later to run a diagnostic on the car. Typical, right? With the jumpers.
Pretty much everything. You put AdBlue in it. 10 liters. If you put in less, like a lot of people do at the gas station, how does it go? Badly? Clack, clack, clack. No, 3 liters isn't enough for the system to detect it. That happens a lot here.
And it's true that you should buy the jug and not fill it up at gas stations. We've read that a lot.
It's a product that absorbs a lot of moisture. At gas stations, the jug actually has an expiration date. At the gas station, it's like gasoline. How long has it been sitting there?
So it's definitely better to buy the jug.
Personally, I just put in 10 liters and that's it. A lot of people add an additive so it doesn't crystallize.
I was going to ask you about that because we also added it just in case, since it said so somewhere. There's nothing we haven't already tried.
Every single one of us, the
Diagnosis. Exactly. In the end, the tank has to be replaced. Talanti is offering a 60% discount to vehicles affected by the defective tank, so tomorrow we'll bring the car back because it needs to undergo a 1.5-hour test. Today I did half of it, and tomorrow they'll do the other half. The tank is in Gran Canaria, so next week, God willing, we'll have the problem solved and can continue traveling. Now we have to leave the car parked. We can't move it much because at some point it just stops and won't start again. So we have to drive as little as possible until we come back to the shop tomorrow and hold out until next Tuesday or Wednesday, which means we have another 5 days ahead to finish fixing it and continue our journey. So that's it. 2 out there in the world keeps going.
Well, they say you should keep a good attitude in bad times. And since we're stuck in Fuerteventura due to technical problems, we're going to show you what our little home has been like for the past 3 days. And who knows for how much longer. These are our freshwater showers where we wash off the salt every day so we don't use up water in the camper. Keep in mind that we can barely move. We've been advised not to drive because the engine is on a countdown, so we're trying to move as little as possible. We moved on Saturday to do some shopping and laundry, and since then we've been here. Look at this view.
It is actually not so bad because, well, despite everything that has happened, we have a beautiful beachfront spot and the weather is always nice. So our daily routine is quite simple. We have breakfast, walk the dog outside, go down to the beach, get some exercise, eat a meal, head back to the beach again, and well, that is how it goes for us every single day. And
we're going to show you something that's truly impressive and worth sharing. Besides the beautiful white sand, the turquoise blue of this beach, the big beaches, the Coralejo dunes, Eson. Who said the Caribbean?
Look at this place. It's amazing. And look at how many people are here too.
And we go catch some waves like little kids. We get in the water here at the beach and spend 15-20 minutes catching waves like a couple of teenagers. But look at that color, just look at that color. It's just incredible.
Who said Bahamas? I don't know if this trip around the world will continue or if we'll just stay in Fuerteventura.
No one knows how Manolo does it. He catches the wave over there and rides it all the way to the shore. The stranded whale. Well, as I was saying, there's no need to cross the ocean and go to the Caribbean when you have this amazing beach right here. If you are looking for an early dinner,
without going out or spending any money, just look at this breathtaking view and look at this incredible dinner. You can't smell it through the screen, but I promise you it smells absolutely divine, just truly wonderful. When
you're happy, you enjoy yourself even when you're cooking.
And after so much peace by the sea, it was time for a change of pace. Fuerteventura isn't just about beaches, it's also about trails, dust and rocks. So we left the camper for a while and dove right into its tracks and ravines. Holy shit. And this was supposed to be in the ravine. Just look at the hill we have to climb. You probably can't tell on the GoPro, but it's super soft and full of big rocks. I made it a little over halfway, but for a beginner like me, that's more than enough. It's really, really tough. Let's keep going, we've still got a long way to go. By passing through this small narrow entrance right here, we are finally going to reach one of the most incredibly famous and beautiful beaches in all of Fuerteventura. We made it, but
If the tide comes in,
to Sotavento Beach.
Well, actually, Sotavento Beach is just past that little rocky area over there. But what I'm noticing is that we need to be careful because obviously the tide comes in, and once it does, this access gets cut off. Also, be careful with the filming because it looks like this area is a nudist zone. There are also naked people behind us, and obviously we don't want any problems, and we want to respect everyone's privacy.
Actually, almost all the beaches in Fuerteventura are nudist, and if they're not, it doesn't really matter. If you want to be naked, you can be naked, because it's no big deal. It's all totally free here. Here in this place, everyone simply does their own thing, and there isn't a specific beach that is exclusively reserved for nudists. This is because on every single beach we have been to so far, there has always been someone walking around naked, so it is really not an issue at all. I am not going to turn the camera around right now because we are starting to see all sorts of things hanging out, so let us just move a bit further down that way. Now here we finally are on this absolutely spectacular beach, the famous Sotavento beach, and really, who would have ever thought it would look like this today? Oh my god, I cannot believe this. This is absolutely insane. That was it. I tell you that today there isn't even a hint of wind.
There isn't even any sun, but well, on our last day in Fuerteventura, the sun didn't want to say goodbye to us. It got sad. Tomorrow marks a month in Fuerteventura. Incredible.
It went by so fast, and
the most distinctive feature of this beach, as you can see, is the lagoon. Besides being huge and stretching for kilometers, these large lagoons always form in the middle of the beach. Obviously, when the tide comes in, they get much deeper. In this part of the beach, for example, the lagoon is always here. It never disappears. It's a shame the sky isn't blue today, so you can't see the beautiful turquoise colors that are usually here.
it is currently 9 o'clock in the morning, and this sandy beach is still completely deserted.
Well, that's because the beach is so huge. Because honestly, since about 8:15 this morning, we've been seeing people walk by in front of us, as if they were coming to claim a spot on the beach. But who knows, maybe one day when we're much older, Manolo, we'll end up doing the same, getting up at 7, and by 8, we'll already be at the beach.
Look where the van is already parked, and all the stretch of sand there is before you even get to the water. Here we reach the sea, and now when we go into the water, we'll show you how far we can walk out, and the water still doesn't go above our knees. It's incredible.
The beach stretches all the way to those brown mountains you can see in the distance. And it's not just how long it is, it keeps going to the other side. Now Manolo will turn around and show you, but above all here you can really see how wide the beach is. It's just incredible. I think I could go into the water with my bag and my pants. Later we'll try it out so you can really see, but for now...
Maybe you'll end up walking all the way to Africa, or...
We're just a little over 100 kilometers away, so don't tempt me.
Well, you can see perfectly here where the wave is breaking. You can clearly see where the wave is breaking over there. There's barely 10 centimeters of water, and right underneath there's sand, so you can walk all the way out there easily and even go a bit further.
Well, as you can see, I've been walking for a while and the water keeps reaching me in the same place, and I keep walking and walking, and I could keep walking because the water won't go above my knees for another 50 meters. Missing Fuerteventura?
The water is not that cold at all. It's absolutely wonderful. I went in at 9 o'clock in the morning and it was truly spectacular. For Rebecca to go into the sea at this hour in the morning, the water must be really nice. Anyway.
Yesterday, something really strange happened to us that had never happened at any beach, not just in Fuerteventura, but anywhere in the Canary Islands. And the thing is, this part of the beach, I don't know if it's because it's not very deep or what, but the water was really warm. Then, if you go a bit further, about 50 meters ahead where it gets a little deeper, suddenly it turns into really cold water, the typical Atlantic kind. It was so strange because the water was, I'd say, almost as warm as the Mediterranean. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but honestly, you could really feel the difference in temperature. So weird.
We've walked 50 meters and the water still doesn't even reach our waists. Me?
Since I'm shorter. Here,
There's like an isthmus here. And now suddenly we start going up and the water only comes up to our ankles.
it's so interesting. Where are you? Record yourself so it can be seen.
It gets even shallower and
I didn't want the lullaby. Look where we are on me. Amazing. And
if we simply decided to walk, we could easily keep going along that specific way. And eventually we would reach the soft sand, where the cool water would come all the way up to our knees.
we're reaching the end of our trip to Fuerteventura, and this is our last beach, Sotavento. The sun is nearing the horizon, tinting the sea with warm hues and reflecting all the tranquility that the island conveys. These are moments to look back and remember everything we've experienced: routes, landscapes, beaches, and sensations that only a place like this can offer. This is our last beach, but we still have one final stop before saying goodbye to the island. A perfect ending to an adventure that leaves us wanting to return. We're heading to the Entalada Lighthouse, which is the closest point in the Canary Islands to the African continent, just about 100 kilometers away. What's more, this lighthouse is the highest in the Canary Islands above sea level, standing at 185 meters tall.
An interesting fact about the Entalada Lighthouse is that it doesn't have the typical tower that most lighthouses have. Obviously, we're already 185 meters up. I don't think it needs any more height. From here, the old lighthouse keepers could see the lights in Africa on very dark nights.
From the Entalada Lighthouse, we say goodbye to Fuerteventura. Many people think this island is just beaches and tranquility, but what beaches and so much more. Trails, routes, and landscapes that surprise you at every turn. We spent a month exploring and still had places left to discover. Yes, there were problems. Yes, we spent a fortune on that darn AdBlue, but we leave very happy, with memories and adventures that only places like this can offer. And now there's only one question left. Where will our next adventure take us?